What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to talk about AMC/GME as well as the broader market. So whoa, what a day for AMC. We were up for 44.91% for the day. It had a high of $29.73. We started the day with $20.61. Everything changed after we had the interview at CNBC with Adam Aaron. The sentiment towards the stock completely changed in the morning at the market open. People started buying this stock madly, and when we look at the average volume on AMC, it's gone up. It's around 50.100 million, but today's volume was around 226.01 million. That is just next level of buying that's happening in AMC. I'm super excited, super hyped for tomorrow as well. We might see some sort of a upside. Now, what exactly happened in the month of May and June was that we had initial run like this, and then we had a negative day, and then we had 100% run in the pre-market. So something like that can repeat, or this could be a trap for the retail. But the kind of buying that has happened today, this is not any kind of a short squeeze that has happened. It is pure FOMO. People started buying the stock when they saw the interview between CNBC and Adam Aaron. There was nothing very bullish coming out of that interview, but still the investor had some sort of a hype towards the stock and they started buying it. In my personal opinion, if you haven't got any position in AMC, stay away from it. This is a pure FOMO that is happening in the stock right now, and it can go down from here onwards as well. This stock has almost gone up 80% in last 5 days, so you have to be very careful before you build a position into this stock right now. Now, when we come over to the GME, GME was up for 24.77% for the day. It had a high of $190.84 and it opened at $151.98. The average volume on GME has gone up significantly. It's 4.14 million, but today's volume was around 16.28 million. So you can imagine this kind of a uptrend that we have been experiencing since last 5 days. It hasn't stopped. Once Ryan Cohen announced that he's buying another 100,000 shares in GameStop after the earnings, this stock just kept going up. This stock is almost up 100% right now in almost 5 days, in almost 2 weeks' time. Now we just have to wait and see how this is going to play out, but I can guarantee you this is not a short squeeze. This is just a pure FOMO that is happening into these two stocks right now. Most likely, if we experience any kind of a squeeze, that is going to happen in the aftermarket and pre-market, because there is no control over the aftermarket and pre-market from the market maker. The kind of control the stock exchange has during the market open. Now let's come over to the SPY. Now the SPY was up for 0.71% for the day. It had a high of $455.91. This is very clear that we don't have any good news till the SPY is going up. Now, where can we see ourselves going from here onwards? I personally believe we are going to experience some sort of a upward momentum. As we can see, these moving average has crossed and it's all aiming towards the upside, and it's not crossing each other at any point right now. So I personally believe we're going to experience a uptrend in the SPY. For how long this is going to happen, we can't tell, but there will be some sort of a uptrend coming into the SPY. We know there is nothing positive that's coming out of the news that we have all around the world. Still, the stock market is going up. Now, I personally believe these are the final days before there is some major catastrophe happens. Now, we're going to talk about another ticker symbol, HYMC. That's Hycroft Mining, in which AMC has invested quite a bit of money. And this stock has been going up. It was almost a 40-cent shares maybe a couple of weeks back, and now it has gone up almost 400 to 500%. Today it was up for 81.25%, and as we can see in the aftermarket, it has already gone up another 12%. So we might experience some sort of a very volatile day tomorrow as well. Now the main thing comes down to this is these are all FOMO based buying that is happening into these two stocks. You have to be very careful if you are building any position. I personally won't suggest anybody to build any position because this thing can go both ways. And like I mentioned just now, that this stock was almost 30 to 40 cents couple of weeks back, and it has gone almost 400 to 500% up. So be very careful with dealing with these kind of a stock. The average volume on this stock is around 34.66 million, but today's volume was around 379.26 million. So you understand the amount of buying that is happening in these stocks is just exponential. It's just to the next level. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. Now let's have a look at the options flow for AMC. Now by looking at the options flow for AMC, I can tell you there are a lot of people, those who are actually betting to be a millionaire, and they are all putting their life savings into it, and they are buying these call options which are just going to expire in another 3 days or 16 days, and they personally believe that these prices can be achieved. This was a $145 call option that individual is giving 300 days to himself, and he has paid $221,000 for it. He has bought 750 contracts for it. I can see there are a lot of whales those who are buying the call option, but I can tell you very clearly there were some whales as well those who were buying put option. And honestly speaking, the put option buying that was happening on these stocks was just exponential. It was just to the next level of contract buying that was happening in these stocks, especially AMC. As we can see over here, there was a trade that came in. This individual is buying $809,000 worth of AMC. It's 1,444 contracts, which is going to expire in another 80 days. And it's a $25 put option that he's buying. Then we had few more that came in. That was 3,500 contracts, 7,000 contracts, again 3,500 contracts. And these individuals are basically betting in a very close range. I mean, this kind of money can go completely wrong. I personally believe there is no catalyst in the company which was creating this kind of a upward momentum. We might experience a downtrend from tomorrow onwards itself, or we might have a 1 or 2% up, and then we might go down from there onwards. But what I personally believe is that there was no significant catalyst to have this kind of a momentum that we experience in the stock today. But you never know, we can still experience some sort of upward momentum. But the kind of contract buying in the put option that's happening in AMC, it's a little bit suspicious. It feels like the investors are just doing a FOMO into it, and these market makers are trying to take an edge out of that, and they're buying this put option because they know there is no big catalyst which can send this stock to next level. And by looking at the call to put ratio, definitely call ratio is way too much higher than the put ratio. And when I increase the premium to max, there was this only one trade that came. This is a $16 call option somebody bought, and it's going to expire in 3 days. And this individual bought $1.1 million worth of AMC, and these are 2,000 contract. He bought around $21.37. So by this time, this individual has already turned this $1.1 million into multi millions already. And if we experience a short squeeze, this guy is going to be a multi-millionaire. Now let's come over to the options flow for GME. By looking at the options flow and what the whales are doing, this is a 3-day expiration. This guy is buying a $90 call option, and he's paying $1.3 million for it, and he has bought 150 contracts. And there was this $70 call option. This is going to expire in 10 days, and this individual is buying 200 contracts, and he's paying $2.2 million for it. Now when I bring down the premium and see what exactly the retail is doing, majority of the retail are on to the upside, and they are buying way too much out of the money options, which is going to expire in 3 days, and they are expecting some kind of a serious upward momentum that can happen in the GameStop right now. Now personally speaking, I personally believe that this momentum that we are experiencing in this stock has no news on it, but there is no other such catalyst which is going to give some kind of improvement towards the company. But still, you never know, we might experience some sort of a squeeze tomorrow morning or day after tomorrow as well. All the best to the people, those who are actually having a call option position in it and they have already made money on it. Now let's come over to the options flow for the SPY. Now by looking at the options flow for the SPY, I can tell you very clearly still the investors are on to the downside. They are not believing this upward momentum that's going to happen. Now I personally believe we're still going to experience some sort of a upward momentum, just because on moving day average hasn't crossed yet towards a direction which can indicate that we are going to go towards the downside. So moving average is definitely an indicator as well, and right now it seems to be like they are not crossing. We might experience some sort of a upward momentum for few more days. Rest, there was nothing suspicious coming out of the options flow for this buy. There were these few bets that were coming in. There were these huge contracts these individuals are buying, and they are all buying to the put side. This was put option that this individual is buying $385 put, and he's buying 30,000 contracts, and this is a $2.9 million this individual is paying for it. This was this $440 put option. This is going to expire in another 38 days. He's buying 12,300 contract and he's paying $7.3 million for it. So a lot of big money is onto the downside. Now when I look at the chart of put to call ratio, you can see it for yourself. The put side is way too much heavier than the call side. Everybody is still betting that the market is going to go down from here onwards. Hope so. You like my video. Please like and subscribe my channel. I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.